lack of conscious choice about what you will and what you will not get done will likely cost you the created future. Without a conscious choice of what you will get done, what will fill up your calendar is what is already there. That is, an extrapolation of what has filled up your time in the past up through the present. So, in other words, you're almost certain future. Remember that? That's what we'll get in on your calendar. That's what you'll end up doing. Introducing a new conversation, the created future, requires that you make a conscious choice about what you will and what you will not get done. The choice is not an easy choice. There is a great pull for what is already filling up your nows, and there's a great pull for trying to get it all done. What has filled up your calendar is what has, by default, been extrapolated from past-based commitments and conversations. You haven't made choices about what you're doing now and what you're not doing now consistent with the created future. Given the mountain of all there is for you to do and handle in life, we will soon explore more fully how to powerfully manage what I am not doing now. The application of what I'm not doing now. A created future is realized in time. More specifically, a created future is realized in time that is a commitment for fulfilling on your created future. If we talk about the created future, without putting in the necessary structure to fulfill on that created future, commitments for the actions required to realize that future, and the occasions for executing those actions, we have had what is called a social conversation. That is, if we don't create sufficient nows for the action required to realize the created future when we give our word, we have only had a social conversation, not a promise with the integrity required to bring that promise into existence. Right?
So if we never gonna do this, take this course in August, something that we just did will be like a social conversation.
Yeah. If we did not attach a now in which to fulfill on what the future that we just created, it will have been a social conversation. It will just go out of existence. Organizing for the created future, what I'm doing now. Creating occasions in which to complete what you chose to do or handle is the first step in organizing yourself for the created future. To create an occasion, schedule a now of sufficient duration with a specific starting and ending time to complete something there is for you to do or handle. You take what there is to do or handle and produce and transform it into an accomplishment for yourself. State that something as an accomplishment, a result completed connecting to a fundamental concern or commitment that moves you into action. Occasions act as compelling opening for action that reliably, powerfully calls you into action. Remember the context. All right. So this, I don't have any mastery. I have little mastery in it. I'm working this out myself. It's even difficult for me to understand what the darn thing says. So we're going to work through this together. Create an occasion, schedule a sufficient duration with a specific starting and ending time. Okay. You take what there is to do or handle or produce and transform it into an accomplishment for yourself. Okay. So if we do what we say we're going to do about the leadership course next year, and we talk by email in August, and I let you know what produce and so that's what there is for us to do and handle. Okay? That's what there is for us to do and handle, or produce. And let's say part of producing is inviting the other people and creating a team. Okay? So that's what there is to produce. Now transform it into an accomplishment for yourself. So what would that be? What would that be as an accomplishment?
Accomplishment is something that make us do something.
Well,
Some
it's
kind of
what will we have
motivation,
accomplished? What will we have accomplished? So you talk about you be a leader around the leadership course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what will you have accomplished for yourself if you state it like an accomplishment? How about this? I will continue to be a leader by talking to Jeff in August.
Yeah.
See, do you hear the accomplishment in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that future that's a future that we're now living into, rather than this thing we have to do called talk to each other. Because we will probably have forgotten that part that you just said is, I'll continue to be a leader and exercise leadership effectively if I'm around this conversation. I will continue to grow and develop around this conversation. That will go out of existence if we don't attach that, to the thing that we're going to do. We have to transform it into accomplishment for yourself. As an accomplishment, I mean in the past, I become a stronger leader. That's an accomplishment. Yeah? Okay. State that something as an accomplishment. Can you write this down so it doesn't go on me? State that something as an accomplishment, a result completed, or connecting to a fundamental concern. Right? Can you see the connection to the fundamental concern? Our commitment that moves you into action. So I will continue to develop myself as a leader by talking to Jeff and by getting an email or sending an email in August. Occasions act as a compelling opening for action. So when you run across that note in your calendar, it will be a compelling opening for action. You know what that means?
No.
You'll be compelled to do it. You'll be drawn into it. You'll go, oh yeah, I remember that, because you have it as stated as an accomplishment. I will have accomplished being a more powerful leader. Or whatever you need to state it so that it becomes compelling. It draws you into action when you run across it again. You go like, oh yeah, and you type the email without even hesitating because it's compelling.
It is like we state what we want, and it is like the aim. When we want it, we will do it. Yeah.
Yes, but you state it as an accomplishment rather than what you would have accomplished by starting this conversation up again.
We have this is the same term in programming. When you code something, some program,
Yeah.
and before make it run, you should compile it. So compile. Yeah, sorry, compile it so the code get together, and it's not running, but it's like one step before running.
Yes.
It's like everything's together, everything
Yes.
is connected with
Yes.
other parts, and it takes just one click to have it like
Yes.
live.
And when you see that, okay, it's time to make that one click, you're compelled to do it because you know all the things the program will do.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's compelling to do that one little
No, first you compile.
compile.
And compile.
But then you're compelled to press run the program.
What is the difference between compile and compile?
Compile is spelled C-O-M-P-I-L-E, and compel is spelled C-O-M-P-E-L-L.
I get the difference in spelling, I don't get difference in
Okay,
meaning.
compile makes the whole thing ready to run instantly.
Yeah.
Except for in BASIC, you don't compile things, it runs in real time, right? Only in certain programming languages do you compile it because it transforms the upper level language into a binary language and it's ready to run. It's compiled to run on a Spark, right?
Yeah.
Well, compelled means you're pulled to do it. You're compelled. You want to do it once you see, once you compile the program, you might be compelled to start it
Yeah.
because you want to see what it'll do. Because a compiled program could be pretty compelling in nature.
It is
But
really,
you also want the part where when you see it, you press the button and the whole program runs. You want that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
it is really powerful if we know this because it can make us to do hard work.
Exactly.
I just entered here, entered this uni with this help,
Yes.
all this stuff here.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I'm giving it to you. It's not just so we're having another
I,
leader.
I understood it for me and I'm using it each time
Yes.
I want to do something. Like I had a girl which lived here in Kyiv and I lived in Lviv and it compelled me to enter here because I wasn't studying and everything, but when she came